Thanks to all five of you for being here. Dr. Perucci, I'm going to begin with you. Could any reasonable reading of this bill's text actually require a specific course of treatment to a particular infant born alive? And in particular, we know that, as in the case of one of your fellow witnesses today, there are obviously heartbreaking cases where parents seek a termination of a pregnancy due to a fetal anomaly or danger to the life of the mother. In these cases, what would the standard of care be for an infant if they were born alive but had no chance of survival?
This bill, I believe, makes it mandatory that we care well for the babies, that we are consistent in our standard of care, so that if there is nothing further that we are medically able to do, we don't do uncomfortable procedures. We keep them wrapped and safe, and whether they're in their parents' arms or someone else who steps forward to hold them. But it also makes it mandatory that we evaluate the baby, because one of the things that sometimes happens is we get the diagnosis wrong, other than it's a baby. And I've seen that happen multiple times through the year, where the obstetric, their best impressions weren't right. And I've seen, quote, lethal diagnoses that weren't lethal. And we've been able to intervene, and the babies live and survive and thrive. So without that opportunity to consistently care and evaluate these babies, we don't know what we're missing.
Thank you. Ms. Mosley, I want to present a question to you as well. Do state homicide laws account for an active versus passive distinction in cases where doctors fail to provide care?
They account for active, and what this Born Alive Abortion Protection Act will do is make sure that care is required to be given to an infant. That this is not an infanticide bill. This is a bill that says an infant who survives abortion is just like any other patient that deserves care, and that's what this bill will do.
Thank you. And you've also, in your comments, made some points that I think are necessary for us to underscore to rebut what some of the opponents of this legislation say. Some of the opponents of the bill claim that this is unnecessary because it never happens. Am I correct in understanding your testimony that that claim is inconsistent with the data we actually have?
Absolutely. Right now, we only have 15 states that have the same protections as the Born Alive Abortion Protections Act pending in the House and the Senate. And that's just 15 states. We have no federal protections for these infants currently, but yet we have a federal protection saying that they are full persons under the law. So right now, we only have 8 states as well that report on born alive infants. And of those states that report, we have over 170 cases of infants who have been born alive.
Can you just say that last stat one more time so we all understand that clearly?
Yes, we have 8 states that have required reporting on infants born alive after failed abortions. And of those 8 states, we have over 170 cases of infants born alive after abortion procedures.
Thanks very much. And Ms. Stanek, I'm going to finish with you for a minute. Can you talk about some of the pressures, both spoken and unspoken, that employees of abortion clinics are sometimes under to avoid speaking out about what they see happening in their clinics?
Well, that was an example with Gosnell. The people around him knew what was going on, but didn't want to say anything about it. And sometimes their beliefs are so strong that they're willing to let babies die who survive abortions. And some people really think that if a baby survives the first attempt to kill him or her, that she should allow that baby to die on the other side of delivery. And so there are those people, and then there are those people who are really traumatized by what they experience, such as me and other nurses at the hospital.
Thank you.